what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys a few at a time into the sound booth over here and let you see that. Now, I'm going to have to probably leave around 11:30ish or so, guys, because I go down to East to teach some kids in 6th grade, the Hots kids at East. So I'm going to do the DARE program with them at 11:40. So I'll probably leave you guys early. So, but I'm going to start with him as out, and you're going to probably help him get him through that. Yep. Right, so he'll do that. But guys, Paul Weil. Mayor Paul Weil, sir, thank you. He's 3rd grade. So.
Hi, guys. So did you walk here or did you drive here? Okay, just wondering. And this is Scott over here. He's in charge of our government channel. So he knows all about it. And we're broadcasting right now, right? Okay. So obviously we can't have the monitors on because people get distracted. So yeah, so you taking a tour of City Hall, right? And you know where is this, right? Where are we right now?
Wait, no.
We're in council chambers, city council, which is the legislative branch of the government. They make the laws, they control the money. Actually, I'm the executive part of the law of government, I guess.
Why does it say president?
President Jim Sands, he's the president of council. Basically, council is made up of, we're what is called a statute city, which is basically we follow the laws, the framework within the entire state. Some cities have charters where they can actually change some of the elements of government. For instance, Nelsonville, for instance. Everybody knows about Nelsonville, right?
Yeah.
They are chartered. They do not really have a mayor. They have president of council who acts as a mayor, and they have a city manager who manages the day-to-day operation. We, of course, are a statute city, so therefore we have city council, 7 members plus 1 president. We have the law director should be down there. He's an elected official as well. Elected officials include myself, the city auditor, which just had a raise. Pat Lang, of course, is the law director. He's going to become a judge. He's moving on to being a judge. Let's see, my job is to enforce the laws, administer the city, run the city. I'm sure you're aware we had a nice little fire out there, a nice big fire, and so how to make that work and how to help the citizens fix everything up is one aspect of it. Let's see, what else? I guess I could take questions. I don't know. What's your timetable anyway?
11:35. Probably 15 minutes.
15 minutes. So you don't have a lot of time, and I see you have lots of cards and questions. So why don't I start? Okay, you're waving around. You right there.
Is it easier or hard being the mayor?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, the easy part many times is having good meetings with people like you. Other times, it's like when you're out there and you realize that there's a fire and that there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of problems out there at times. We always run about limitation of money and resources. Does that answer your question? Okay. Okay, you right there.
Do you like animals?
Do I like animals? Yes, I do. Although I don't really have pets unless you consider the 40,000 bees I have as pets. Because that's what I have. I have a couple of beehives. So you can't really pet them. I guess if you're saying pets, they're not long cousin.
Well, do you like crocodiles?
Yeah, you can. Okay, how about you right there?
How hard to work and make big decisions for a town?
Go ahead, you first. How and where? We don't know how. We're pretty much sure of where. It's a business called Kismet in the middle of the block there, somewhere towards the back. At least that's what Chief Reimer, my fire chief, told me. And I need the experts to know that. Okay, you behind it.
Is it hard to work and make big decisions for a town?
Is it hard making big decisions for a town? Yeah, sometimes it is. And I say that because it's easy to just say, oh, let's do this and let's do that. Occasionally I look at some of the old ordinances and laws that have been passed and signed, and you're looking at laws that are over 100 years old, and you look at the signature there and you're thinking, why did they do that? Was that a smart thing to do? So the hard part is making the smart decisions, saying, okay, so I'm going to make this decision. How's it going to look next week? And how's it going to look 6 months from now, and the next year? Because the impacts can be long-standing. So you have to think about those things. Those are the hard parts here. How about you over there?
What did you want to be as a kid?
What? What did I want?
What did, and when you were these guys?
Oh, as a
what did
kid.
What did you want to?
Oh, as a kid, I wanted to be a scientist, and I was. I worked at the University of Molecular Biology for
Wait,
about 20 years.
like a chemistry scientist?
Chemistry, yes. I have a bachelor's in chemistry.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
there you
too.
go.
I want to do that.
Okay, well, I like it because it's like, it's exciting. There's all sorts of things. You can figure out how things work. It's problem solving. You?
What was your hardest experience
You know, one of the hardest experiences, and there's several, is campaigning. Campaigning is no fun. You know, to get elected, you have to go out there, you knock on doors, which means you have to be real extroverted. You have to say, I'm going to knock on somebody's door and tell them how great I am, you know, and convince them. And I have to convince more than half the people, of course, in an election cycle. But it's hard. It took me a while to get good at that and actually to feel that I was comfortable doing it. And I say that because what would happen is I'd knock on the door, and by talking to somebody who knew more about it than I did, and I kind of say, wow, what am I doing this for? They know more than I do. And I go back home and do more homework, to tell you the truth. So that's part of it. How about you, right there? I don't know the exact amount. Let's see. I think we're making about 56 cents a minute. How's that sound? That translates to about 74,000, 75,000 a year. Not a week. I don't think anybody. Well, some people probably make 74,000 a week. None of your teachers, I'm sure. The amount of salary is set by the city council. They make that choice for they actually have to set the next. They can't do it for their own term. They do it for the next term of office holders, which means sometime in the next month or so, they'll have to determine the salary range for already elected officials for the next election cycle. Election cycle, of course, is coming up next year for the city council members, the mayor, the law director, of course, and the auditor. So all those positions will be up for election. You're too young to vote, but you might want to pay attention to it because that will make a decision on how it goes on afterwards. How about you and Green right there? Yes. What? The least favorite. Long days. Let's see. Actually, I think probably it has to deal with the budget and the money. I mean, it's nice to say, you know, like you only have a certain amount of allowance or something like that, and so much money I can go so far. There's lots of things I'd like to do. The fact is, we run out of resources before that happens. Okay, let's see who else there. Okay, you two. Yeah, you're right there. Yes.
What's your favorite sport?
What is my favorite sport? Actually, I'm not a sports person. I was kind of like the nerdy chemistry guy. Well, you know, actually, because I'm really so uncoordinated most of the time. I mean, most people look at me and say, "Oh my God, you're tall. You should be a basketball player." But I grew like 6 or 7 inches one year, so my coordination is all shot. So I really don't have a favorite sport. If anything, I do like things like fencing. I always thought that was fascinating. And sometimes it's kind of weird. I like learning games, so I sometimes watch sports just to learn the game because I almost forget how the rules are each time. Let's see. How about you right there?
What is your favorite color?
My favorite color? That's a good question. I kind of lean towards purple most of the time. I notice my house is purple. Sometimes I go towards black. I realize I'm wearing all black clothes. I look like Johnny Cash or something like that.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do too, but you know, I don't know if I need to dress like them. How about you back there? You first, then you. How's that sound?
How many court meetings have you been to?
Court meetings? Not that many, actually. That's a different branch of government, and it's funny, you watch the process. It's kind of long and drawn out, usually because somebody's done something wrong, so it's not really fun to watch. I used to watch city councils before I went to court, watch court. But again, it's how much time you want to spend on it. It's important to watch that stuff because you know the processing, you learn what happened. It's just not like TV. It usually takes some time, and people's lives are being, changed by it. Okay, you on the other side, yes. The black, yes, you.
How long have you been a mayor?
I am on my 7th year. each term is a 4-year term, so this is my second term, third year. And don't ask me if I'm running again, because I'm not telling you.
You're not.
I'm not telling. Okay, so let's see. How about you and Green over there? Yes.
So, why did you want to run for mayor?
Why did I want to run for mayor? Actually, I was reluctant to run for mayor because I really was happy. I was doing city council, which is a part-time job up here. But there are many people who felt that the direction of the city was going was not the best. So there was a push to actually get somebody new, and they decided I should do it. So I guess I was pushed into it, kind of. Let's see. Okay, you right there.
You know how fire at Jackie O's started?
We do not know yet. We're waiting for
I know.
Go ahead.
When do you think those businesses will, like, not reopen, but they'll come back or come, like, people start to construct them again?
That's a good question. There's so many problems. Well, basically, they have to, the fire marshal has to determine what's going on. They have to write a report. The insurance companies will look at it. They have to reimburse the property owners and the business owners. So, and then there's permitting, because any business has to go through the state for permitting. So there's a lot of things that have to be put in. I'm hoping as soon as possible, and I would, I hope within a year. I'd be optimistic that that would happen, but that would be difficult to do because it'd be a lot of work at that point. There's always a lot of pitfalls. Different owners of different buildings will say, I want to do this more, or I don't want to do it anymore. I mean, there's a lot of decisions the property owner has to decide too. So that will be an issue there. Did I ask you already? Okay, you go ahead.
How many issues do you have to deal with each day?
How many what?
Issues do you have to deal with each day?
It varies from day to day. I think I'm dealing right now with 4 or 5 different issues right now. And when I say issues, really I'm doing some homework. I've got 2 reports I'm putting together. I'm trying to put the budget together for next year. So when I get tired looking at numbers, I switch to this one over here. That's a good thing about computers. You have lots of little windows open, so you can always take time to say, okay, I need to do this and then that. So today I had an 8 o'clock meeting, Economic Development Council. I'm meeting with you guys right now. There will be, at 3 o'clock, I'll have a Natural Hazard Mitigation Committee meeting. How about that? And that's really just to look at possibilities of flood. How do we treat it if we have a flood or a fire? And really when I say fire, they think a natural fire is like a forest fire. Because in theory, you could get a forest fire coming through here. If we have enough trees, that would be a problem. Or if we got real dry like a drought. So that's one meeting. Let's see, 3 o'clock. I still have to prepare more. I'm still working on the budget, so I'll be working late after that. Let's see. Okay, you right there. What do I plan to buy?
Like, what do you, what are you planning to buy for money this year?
Well, this year's almost all done. Although we run on a calendar year versus fiscal year, we're still trying to put money together for a bike bridge on Columbus Road to go from the bike path to Columbus Road. We are, let's see, other things. We're finishing up Union Street is one thing almost done. We put that little roundabout on West Union. We're trying to still put money together. Of course, the money's pretty much together for Richland Avenue. We just have to wait for them the weather to get better. We're going to spend a lot of money on salt. Salt prices went up at least 3 times, and so therefore we're probably going to have salting problems, I suspect. First, availability, because there's not a lot of salt out there, which means the price goes up. So you have to make a choice on that. So there are things we spend. Next year, of course, we're going to try doing, we're still doing a wastewater treatment plant. Very boring, very expensive, $18 million. We're going to try working on a pump on depot. So these are probably more things than you want to know.
That's really funny.
Okay, how about you right there?
How long do you work each day?
What?
How long do you work each day?
How long do I work each day? Really, you either get tired or run out of well, mostly I try getting here around 8, and technically it's like 8 to 4, but to tell you the truth, the golden time is when the doors close at 4, and nobody calls, the phones get on automatic, and I can actually work without any interruptions. So it depends. Last night was from was from 8 to 9, because it was city council. So it'll vary from day to day, depending on how evening meetings or other meetings. You're being wanted, call there. Okay, how about you back there? Both of you, start with one, then go to the other. You with the hat right here. Yeah, you.
What's your favorite sports player?
Sports player? I could not tell you any sports players whatsoever. I'm sorry to say, I'm just not good at it. Go ahead.
What's your favorite thing that you've done as a mayor?
The favorite thing I've done as mayor? Actually, I think the thing I like the best is in the area of transit. And when I say transit, I mean actually the bike lanes I've been putting in. Pretty much as we've been fixing roads, we try putting bike lanes in so people can ride bikes easily. The concept is when you build, looking at a road, if you have to go up a hill, the best thing to do is put a bike lane in, and therefore somebody can pedal up it without having to worry about traffic. The other one is public transit, and part of the thing about doing public transit, when I say that, I mean the bus system. You guys use school buses, but the rest of the bus system out there, was pretty much always in the mayor's office. The best thing I did was actually the job that I would give it to Athens, Hockey, and Perry Community Action, because they have some real smart people who actually made it work better. I mean, essentially, I think they're doing a great job. So those are two things I'm proud of. I guess it's transit at that point. Although we do like the bridges and the roundabouts too, so I don't know. You? Is it fun being the mayor? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. And like any job or any work. I mean, if it was really fun all the time, they would charge admission. They'd say, oh, this is like a roller coaster ride and you're going to have to pay to do it. But they pay me because it's long hours and anything has good and bad parts to it. So sometimes it is fun. Fun, like talking to you guys, that's a fun part. It is, really, you know. I mean, you know, you guys have great questions. You're obviously interested and you got lots of energy too, I can tell. That's why we had to turn off the monitors. Go ahead.
Okay. How were you alert about the fire?
I got a text message from my service safety director. I think you saw my service safety director downstairs. Paula Horan-Mosley. She's in charge of day-to-day operations. And that's, again, a structure of the city, of the government system. Basically, technically, bigger cities have a service director and a safety director. Smaller cities have combined. And she texted me around 5:30 in the morning. Actually, the text did not wake me up because I don't usually have it on the ring. So I was here till around 7:30 or 7. Go ahead. How old am I? About 22,000 days. Is that good enough? Oh, you want years? Oh, okay. I'm 61. Well, convert your age to to days, and then if you're really good at it, convert to minutes. I rounded up a little bit. I think I was 22 and some change. Okay, let's see. How about you over here?
What are some interesting things about being a mayor?
What are some interesting things? I think that you learn a lot of different things. You see a lot of different things going on, activities. So the interesting part is that because you're, as they say, top of the food chain. I don't know if you know what that means. Basically, you're at a level where you can see other people's needs and other people's activities. And that's really it's very good. It's one of the interesting parts because everybody's got different lives. Everybody's got different occupations. All your parents have different jobs, and so I get to hear some of this, and I have the ability actually to walk in and find out things within the city. I mean, I can go in and say, "What's all this here?" And how things work, and that's part of the good part because it's very diverse, and it's everybody's lives, and it's all part of my job is to find out how it works. Go ahead, behind you.
How much decisions have you made in one day?
How many decisions do I make in one day? I don't know. I don't keep count. Let's see. Today I'm going to be filling in lots of little boxes for the budget. So each one's a decision, as a recommendation. I mean, Scott here will send me a budget, and he already has. So how much I need for all the electronic materials and the licensing for the software, And I'm gonna say, wow, that looks like too much, maybe, he only spent 50% of the last budget, his budget, maybe I'm gonna give him the $10,000 more that he wants, So I make lots of decisions, and again, it depends on different days. Some are easy decisions, some are hard. You have to look and say, what's the implication? Okay, let's see, you right
One
there.
more.
One more question.
And if you have other questions you really want to know, well, give them to me and I'll give them to Officer Rick. And we can shoot them.
Yeah, shoot them to me. I hope I can answer them all time. Okay, one more question here. How about you in the glasses right there? Yes.
Okay, how many really big problems have you had in the last month?
Really big problems. Well, the last one this weekend was the fire, because that takes out a whole block of our city. Not a whole block, but enough that it's a problem. Some of the other ones, probably dealing with Halloween. We didn't have a great Halloween. What? Why not? Some fool shot off a gun down on Court Street. Yeah, that was not my idea of fun. That was not my idea of anything like fun. I hope we catch this person. This was the 40th year of Halloween. I hope if we catch him, he doesn't come back for another 40 years of Halloween. Just because I don't want to invite him. Other hard decisions would be, I don't know, there's so many. I mean, the whole thing is how much you let it, affect you. Those are two major ones right now that I can think of. Of course, trying to make sure we go through the winter with enough salt and keep the roads clean. And I think I'll keep it at that. Is that good enough for you guys? Do you have time? And remember, I work for you guys, or your parents at least, but that's a fact. I'm trying to make it better. Okay?